How's it going, guys? My name is Alex.
Good evening.
And welcome to a review of Franz Beckenbauer, the new double boosted manager with long ball counter and long ball proficiency. I actually decided to go for him because I wanted to test the link up, and the link up consists of box-to-box player passing the ball to a goal poacher in the attacking part of the pitch, from which your goal poacher makes better runs. And I can tell you, my goal poacher, El Hadji Diouf, which is like full free-to-play team, has been cooking. El Hadji Diouf scored 5 goals in one game, and this has been a formation that drove my opponents insane. What they started doing, they just couldn't cope with the amount of pressure that this long ball counter tactic and the setup, of course. I started playing with 3 at the back. These are my wing backs. I oftentimes play Serginho on the left and Zanetti on the right. I played for the 100 coins event. There is every player on yellow arrow by default, so it wasn't like a spectacular performance by a blue arrow player. Also, the one didn't have smart assist, which was kind of cool, and it was very close to realistic football, as close as it gets. So the other thing about the manager is that he is giving us a boost to dribbling +1 and defensive awareness, so these boosts are pretty good. I didn't really try long ball. I don't think that it's a tactic that I will be playing a lot, but that pass from box-box player, it's a similar tactic with Capello. So if you have Capello, I think that you don't need to get Beckenbauer. I just skipped Capello back in the day and I decided to check out Franz Beckenbauer. Obviously, a similar tactic is with the pass from creative playmaker to a goal poacher. I just don't like this gimmick, but I decided to give it a try to tell you whether it is OP or not. Xabi Alonso is the manager, but he's employing mostly, you're playing him with quick counter. This is a setup with individual instructions, and you can try and play deep line on either Zanetti or Frankie de Jong, so that they are slotting in and you're playing 4 at the back when you're defending. And if you're playing a right midfielder who is also a wing back, you can also try and give him deep line instruction. But this is pretty nice because there is so many passing options, and as you can see, I slightly tweaked it, so the formation is pretty much default. I changed the formation and I play whatever Konami is doing here, but I also changed a little bit position of Pele, so his second striker position activated with the deep line forward playstyle activated, of course. This is just such a fun formation to play with, and I think long ball counter kinda helps you with defending, right? So you can actually place you at the back without conceding many goals. Alright, let's get into some games. So we are facing a very interesting French team, and my opponent just decides that he is a little bit, I don't know, he's playing with one attacking bar, but he's back passing the ball. And it will definitely not end well for him, because I have so many players in midfield. My goal is just not to let him reach the opponent's part of the pitch. As you can see, Serginho is there, and what is this run from Pele? He literally created that for me. I didn't do anything, and this is just such an easy goal, and now our big passer friend is a little bit in the mud. We have acceleration burst Araujo here. Pele 1-2. 1-2 is gonna be key. You gotta just spam 1-2s a lot, I think. But at the same time, there's so many options. You can switch between the flanks too. And there's a look at how much pressure I'm applying. This is pretty attacking. You would be, I mean, maybe a quick counter is a little bit even more aggressive, but I have so many options on the back post. Who is that? That is a box-to-box player who is making that darting run. And this was the game where my opponent just went insane. So he started back passing whilst 2 goals down. I've never seen anything like that. So what he is proceeding to do is just standing there with the goalkeeper. I mean, I don't mind. I'm 2 goals ahead and he can do whatever he wants. But like, this is how people are losing their head. He just starts doing keepy-uppies with the goalkeeper. Like, he completely lost it. Completely lost it. He just understands that there is nothing going his way. He didn't create any attacks. Didn't have any shots because of how solid my midfield was. And he's just doing that the entire first half, and of course the same thing continues in the second half. And like, this is the first time anything like that happened to me. Like, why would you do that? And then Vinicius, I don't understand how that's not a penalty, by the way, but refereeing is diabolical in this game. And my man continues doing keep-uppies. I mean, good for you. I think at least he had some fun, and I will pick up 50 coins. This is a very interesting formation the man is employing. Saliba playing right back. He gave proficiency to him to play as a right back. Maybe not a bad idea, but we are creating these triangles. Look at how easy it is to penetrate that defense. Forward the back has nothing on my attack. There are so many players in attack, box-to-box players making runs. I gave one-touch pass into Diouf, and look, Serginho is my wingback is there, and what I'm gonna be doing, I know that he has no finishing, I just chip it into Pele and we score our first goal. And then there's Neymar, again the same sequence, 1-2s, and Pele has one-touch passing, I gave him that, and I think one-touch passing is a crucial skill that you need to have on your players there. And we continue dominating, and if you hoof the ball, Pele can win this, so it's nice to have players who can fight for the ball. But there is another attack, and we just create like such an easy sequence there. Raul cuts inside, we need someone who has good finishing abilities or shooting abilities. There's Gerrard, he's taking it down the middle, unfortunately. And another attack, there is Cannavaro out of all players who is joining the attack. Neymar, double touch into a blitz curler, and that was so close. Actually, I think blitz curlers were nerfed this week, so I'm not hitting them as consistently as I used to when Neymar was dropped. So I think Konami is doing something there. I mean, it just like, maybe it just depends on accounts, I don't know, but I was doing the same, everything is... I'm not changing anything, I'm using the same power, and again, blitz curler from Araujo or whatever that was, and somehow I get the deflection. But it's just about domination, it's just about how easily I can exploit the spaces there. And as you can tell, my man just has had enough, because 5 goals, he cannot really come back from this, and we are taking this W. And into the next game we go. I think that's like, I mean, I'm not really a pro player, so you can't really tell that my opponents are maybe like also like on high level, but that's Division 2 player, and let's see how it goes. He just hooves the ball to, I mean, I would assume that Cannavaro can barge into El Hadji, but it's just like such an OP free-to-play player. I couldn't do anything. I could have taken him down, but I would be one man down, and Cannavaro is a good defender, so I don't know, maybe I should be risking it a little bit, concede it in the first few minutes, and then my man just said celebrate. We'll see about that, who will have the last laugh. 1-2 between Neymar. Neymar doesn't have one-touch pass yet, I'm about to give him that, but El Hadji has that, and they played a brilliant combo there, absolutely. I mean, it's not a rocket science, you just play 1-2s, and eventually, obviously, you play pass and run, so that they're making better runs. Look at this, pass and run from Hadji, he just tapped that ball there, and then he positioned himself perfectly, and that's a nice return from my main goal poacher. I mean, I'm just like enjoying that free-to-play card that everyone could have picked a few days ago. Look, he turns, he takes that shot, top bins, and this time my man is skipping my celebration. Somehow I thought he likes watching celebration, so I don't know what's happening there. And somehow he just gets through there. I mean, the fact that I was matching up with Thuram there and I was nutmegged, and Cannavaro bumped into me. Look at this, look at this. This is insane. How did he... I mean, sometimes that happens, and I could have conceded this goal even with 4 defenders, I think. So it's not really fragile in terms of defense, but I know that I have the firepower to attack there. This El Hadji Diouf cutting inside, and look at this goal, man. This is just so easy. You have so many passing options in attack, and I can even do some subs. I can play some super subs like Raul in the second half, and replace Neymar just because blitz curlers aren't working anymore. And look at this attack from the deep. We're building slowly, and look at this run from one and only Javier Zanetti. He's not like, I don't know how it activates, and that's a beautiful dink from El Hadji Diouf. He's attacking fullback, but he's playing the right midfielder and making this insane run that just like helped me build that attack without any hustle. Again, Serginho making that run, and look at this. This is Hazard chipping it. Raul tried acrobatic finishing, but El Hadji said, nope, I want to score 5 goals in this game. And he actually did so. So he gets the hat-trick ball, but it's actually 5 goals from my goal poacher. So this tactic has cooked, of course, and I'm not playing against Bozus as well. Like, look, this is a decent opponent, like Division 2. I mean, I'm just working my way into Division. And another game, this is where I conceded first, and this goal was, I mean, a little bit weird. This pass was wrong. I felt like this is where your Roman flanks, like I played with Roman flank on the right, and you can see that Araujo just did some weird movement, and he was supposed to be on the right, not in the middle. So I misplaced the pass and was punished instantly, and we have a chance maybe to come back. There's Zanetti, double touch from him. We build it slow. Look how many passing options. Look how open everything is for us. I mean, it could be that my opponent is playing some kind of like out wide tactic, or I don't know. I didn't check it, but it's so open usually with out wide. But at the same time, it's been like that in the previous games too. So we are dominating. We just need something to show for our effort. El Hadjirouf is the first time pass. What a pass from him. And I noticed goalkeeper was moving, so I decided to chip it. Wasn't necessary, could have played the ground pass, but Pele controlled it perfectly and scored the goal. Another attack, and look at Javier Zanetti. He just, I'm not crossing. Look, this one may think that this tactic is for crossing, and I'm not playing a single cross, I think, yet. And most of my goals are maybe from the fear of my opponents thinking that I'm about to cross. And look at this space from Gabriel Batistuta. There's double touch and stunning shot, and unfortunately, he didn't score that goal. Would be nice. And my opponent has let down tools already. As you can see, he's not even controlling his player. He just couldn't penetrate my midfield just because of so many players. And you can of course play Anchorman there. You can play box to box. I would play someone deep sitting, a player who is less active, like for instance Orchestrator. That's what I'm using, Frankie de Jong or Rodri. And then the other midfielder is a box to box player. In attack I'm playing creative playmaker, whole players, deep line forwards. On the right and left I can play whole players or wingbacks like Serginho and Zanetti. And it's just about experiments. And I really enjoyed playing with this formation. And long ball counter, very solid in defense. And that special link-up, I am not a big fan of link-ups in general. I feel like that's a gimmick. That's something that should work in the game without any special premium managers. But it is what it is. And that's been the review. I hope you enjoyed this one, and I'll see you next. Peace.